The Children's Hour by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. What I first think of is this image. I imagine a group of children just surrounding the father. So this is how the poem goes. Between the dark and the daylight, when the night is beginning to lower, comes a pause in the day's occupation that is known as the children's hour. I hear in the chamber above me the patter of little feet, the sound of a door that is open, the voices soft and sweet. From my study I see in the lamplight, descending the broad hall stair, grave Alice and laughing Allegra, and Edith with golden hair. A whisper and then a silence, yet I know by their merry eyes they are planning together to take me by surprise. A sudden rush from the stairway, a sudden raid from the hall, but unguarded, they enter my castle wall. They climb up into my turret, o'er the arms and back of my chair. If I try to escape, they surround me. They seem to be everywhere. They almost devour me with kisses, their arms about me entwined. So I think of the Bishop of Bingen in his mouse tower on the Rhine. Do you think, O blue-eyed banditti, because you have scaled the wall, such an old mustache as I am, is no match for you all. I have you fast in my fortress, and will not let you depart, put you down into the dungeon, into the round tower of my heart. And there will I keep you forever, yes, forever and a day, till the wall shall crumble to ruin, and moulder and dust away. Here's another picture of what I imagine whenever I read this poem. So the different literary devices that I imagine whenever I read war. So the different literary devices that came to mind and that I thought was a priority were these 6. Imagery, hyperbole, metaphor, homozygous, diction, alliteration, and connotation. This is another picture of what I imagine the father's love in this poem shows. So imagery. Imagery is portrayed throughout the novel because of the detail that the author put into the poem. Especially whenever I read this poem, I imagine children just running up to the father from behind as he is working, like in the old-timey movies where kids just run up to the working father and he looks all tired and worn down. Here's a picture of more fatherly love. The next literary device that I think of whenever I read this poem, or that came to mind whenever I read this poem, is hyperbole, which shows the excessive amount. So hyperbole is portrayed whenever the author states that a sudden rush They almost devour me in kisses, which is not a literal meaning because children can't literally devour a father in kisses, but it just shows the immense love that the children have for the father and how the longing feeling and how they just want to kiss their father because they miss him they miss him that much. Sorry. So the metaphor in this story is shown whenever the author mentions a castle. So the castle isn't really a castle. It just uses to symbolize the heart of the speaker. He wants to keep the children in the dungeon of his heart, just meaning that he wants to keep them there forever because he just longs and hates leaving them alone or just not being with them. Homozygous diction is shown through the gentle whenever the author states the voices are soft and sweet. It just shows the gentleness and softness and purity of the children's nature shown through their voices. Another example of literary devices shown in the poem is alliteration. Alliteration is shown whenever the words plotting and planning are together. This allows the poem to flow smoother and connect the two words. One sounds more sneaky and rebellious, another one is just more thoughtful thinking. And finally, connotation. Connotation is shown throughout the novel because the author uses words that are passionate and loving only to portray the love and immense love that the speaker has for the children, and all ties up. So all of the literary devices tie up to the central theme that parents should spend time with their children after a long day of work, because it's not just good for the children, but it's also good for the actual parent, because it de-stresses and just shows the love and builds a better connection between the family. So this has been The Children's Hour by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And this has been Jennifer from 5th period. Thank you and have a good rest of